Morning, online students. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, two topics are remaining here. One is quality service delivery. And another is corruption. Okay. So how far you have done with ethics? Any other doubts you have? Because today will be the last class we'll be doing. We'll just see the, we'll complete this topic and then we'll go for the philosophical part as you asked how you have to do the philosophical part. Only that we'll be discussing. Right? Yes. So what is the problem you're facing when you're doing ethics? So you will be covering this in your polity. But the thing is that these bodies are the one which will be, to expose corruption or something which is going to happen in the government. Those who are involving in corruption will be exposed. Has to check. For check and balance, we have these bodies. So we need not do about them that what is meant by Lokpal, Lokayuta, then it will not be like an ethics class. So we have not done that. But these are the bodies to check the corruption and it acts as checks and balance mechanisms. Okay. For that we are having. Yeah. So any other doubt? Actually, I was going through your answers and even some of you have asked for some theoretical notes. I don't know why theoretical notes. In anything specific you are, because here we have discussed all the concepts. Are you sure about the concepts? Like each and every unit has some concepts, some ideas that has been given to you. But for each and every topic, we cannot make some notes related to how the questions will be asked in the exams. We cannot do it. And it will be like very vast then. We have to have around 120 hours or 110 hours for ethics to do so. And so that and all is very time specific, so we cannot do it. But you have a book. I already suggested IGNOW, and I have to forward the 60th unit notes for you and the 7th unit also. So both I will be forwarding to you. Okay, so what is the trouble you're facing when you're writing? So are you not able to make up the notes? That means with regular practice only it comes. You have to use those words which I have already taught here in the classes. And then you have to add it in your question by framing the answers. All the other subjects, how we are doing? Ethics only. Science and technology, I cannot touch anything because. But I have seen your answers. It's good. It's not very bad, but you have to improve a bit. That's it. In some questions, you are giving the answers in the proper way, but in some questions, it is lagging. So there is no connectivity between the question and the answer. That's a problem we are facing. No, some students, that is a problem. And even some students have done very well previously, but after, yesterday I was very much, after seeing that Utsab answer, he used to give nice answers. And even Deepali, she is absent today. Yes, what happened
Yes,
to her?
ma'am.
She is online. Yeah, Deepali has written, the way she starts the answer impresses the examiner. It's very good. It's pretty good. And sometimes inside there is contentless. So take care of those things. You have to be starting with good impression. At the same time, the content has to be there. Without content, it will be very vague. But I cannot refuse to give marks to her. I just give at least, the grace marks which I have to give, I am giving it. But you have to be very sure when you're writing, you have to take care of when you're writing ethics paper, when you're taking any question, first you have to be starting with a good impressive introduction. Either in the introduction part or in the conclusion part, there should be a connectivity. Okay. How we are going to connect with that particular question. For example, like last time we asked a question related to any question you say, there was one question which is, talking about persuasion. Persuasion. Let us take the first question. So what was the question about? So yesterday we discussed that, it is talking about the receiver's end also. But some of the students has given that the resistance to persuasion in the answer. It's good that they have thought differently. They have thought that, okay, the receiver, when they are receiving the message from you, will also try to resist your messages. When and all, they will try to resist. So this way they have given. Two people has given the same pattern of answer. One has given in a connected way, so that I can understand why this person has given that answer. But another person has given simply the definition of, persuasion. Then what are the, like how I taught in the classes. So how the persuasion takes place, and what are those, how the receiver has to be, how the message has to be, how all this has been given. And they also gave the resistance to persuasion. What is the link? Why an examiner has to correct such an answer? Now I taught you, so I can understand that I just gave some marks. But if there is an examiner who doesn't know you, who doesn't take lessons for you, but he has to understand what you're giving. So when you're writing your answers, there should be connectivity. Whatever you write, that is not wrong, but there should be connectivity in your answers. That is very important. Okay. So that you have to keep in mind. And above all, when I'm correcting the answers previously and now, I felt a lot of changes with you, because when you started writing your answers, there was very vague answers, which was given like simple and plain answers, we can say. But now we are trying to connect the concepts with the answer. That's very good. That's appreciable. So keep in touch. Over the period when you're trying to write the answers again and again, then you will be getting connectivity also. And at the same time, application of concepts inside the answers will come. Okay. And one more person, Pragya. Pragya is you. She is doing very nicely. The answers are very good. So even inside the content is, she is giving limiting. See, that is very important. Limiting your answers is very important, because limitless way I can write the entire ethics. I can connect all the unit. If you ask me to write an answer, I will connect all the unit. I'll give 50 pages answer. But that's not what the examiner requires. And you have to be in connectivity with the question. At the same time, what question demands, you have to give the answer accordingly. Okay. So keep that also in mind. She is doing that perfectly. So like this, you make a circle, study circle. I hope already you have a group. How are you doing it? Are you sharing your answers? Or are you, studying together? Anything like that? Keeping it for answers. Very good. So just keep in touch with your friends. It doesn't mean they're untouchables and all. You that they are not a fierce competitor. Keep that in mind. So by them you can learn, and by you they also can learn. So exchange your answers and keep studying. Okay. So put that in mind. Now we'll continue and complete this topics which we have left in between. Quality service delivery and corruption. So this and all you can read. I'll be forwarding the notes, but I'll give an idea about these topics so that you can have some framework related to quality service delivery. Already we have done a lot of topics. So how we will approach this quality service delivery if quality service delivery is given? So what are those points which you have to give? See, when a topic is given, first you should know what is quality service delivery. So what are the challenges for quality service delivery? Then how you can improve the quality service delivery, right? We already have done the public service. So delivering the public services. So public services means what? The goods and services delivered to the public by the government functionaries. That is public service. So if a public functionary is delivering these goods and services to the people, it has to do in the qualified way. So this we call as quality publics or quality service delivery. That means the goods and services which are designed for the people has to reach the concerned target group. Okay. So it has to reach the target group. Then we say that it is a quality service delivery. The first thing, then the services which are reaching the target group has to meet the needs of the concerned target group. So it not only reaches the target group, but also it has to meet the needs and requirements. It has to satisfy the needs and requirements of the target group. Some magics are happening, na? Huh? Why it vanishes, I don't know. This administration has to take care of this. It's winter also, no overheating. So these two has to be taken into account when we are talking about the quality service delivery. Okay, one, the target group has to get the services or goods which is designed for them in the form of programs or policies. And second, that policy or program has to satisfy and fulfill the needs and requirements of the target group. Okay, these are the two things which we have to keep in mind. Okay, when we are considering the quality service delivery. So what are those challenges we are facing? You know, we always design a program, we always design a scheme. Even the people who are sitting there in the parliament are doing it in the manner that either they have to regulate the behavior. Yes, let us take this. So they have to regulate the behavior. Okay, they regulate the behavior of people. So they keep two things in mind. Why they are trying to regulate the behavior of the masses of the common man in order to have social happiness. Okay. One thing, this is also a form of service delivery only. Second, they form laws, rules and regulations, policy and programs in order to satisfy the needs of the individual and the community. Yes. These are the two things. Either way, they are acting for the welfare of people. In either way, they are trying to, you know, benefit the people only or benefit the community at large.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Huh?
Left part is not visible.
Not visible. Which one?
Left part. Your left.
Now it is visible.
Yes,
I cannot see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, community at large, and this we say the welfare to all and well-being, welfare for all and well-being to an individual. Okay, so this is the main idea. Just for this only we are talking about, see, actually the lawmakers, starting from them to the law implementers, the one who implement the programs, policies or schemes designed by this person, are the law or rules or regulations formulated by this person for the benefit of the society. This is the main idea of service delivery. So they are trying to, through that way, through the law and order or rules and regulation formulated by them, they are trying to regulate the behavior of the people in the society in order to bring the social happiness. Because every individual, as we saw, individual by nature is selfish in character. They want everything for themselves. If there is nothing to regulate them, they will always try to act on the survival of fittest theory. One who is very fit will take all the things from the others, and the others will suffer without having anything. So there should be a boundary, there should be a limit. So for that only we brought a government, and that government is making law and order, and this is implemented by the civil servants again in order to maintain the law and order of the society. At the same time, the needs of the individual and needs of the community also should be satisfied. That is why we are making programs, schemes, all those policies in order to satisfy the needs of the individual. So this combinedly we say that there should be a service delivery which meets the benefit of the society in order to bring the welfare of the community or well-being of an individual. Okay, so this is we call simply as the quality service delivery. If this has to be done in the proper way, then what are those problems we are facing? Because corruption is one such problem, and underutilization, misutilization of funds and all is one such problem which is lying inside the quality service delivery only. That we'll see as a part of the quality service delivery. We need not make it a separate topic and all. So now you say, what are the challenges we are facing? Why we are not able to deliver a proper delivery of services to the people? So far we have discussed, no? One by one, louder. Political pressure. Okay, political pressure. Yes. Any other?
Bureaucratic attitude.
Bureaucratic.
Bureaucratic.
Yes. Lack of awareness. Among people. So this leads to poor, generation of public opinion. And this poor generation of public opinion again. So this also lead to poor social audit, all those awareness mechanisms which we have, there is no awareness, so the people are not trying to utilize it. Okay. Then
lack of 3E.
Lack of
3E.
3E.
Efficiency,
This
economy.
leads to lack of 3Es. The proper, not qualifiedly way you're delivering the services. This also brings in lack of 3Es. Okay. So you can write in the top. Any other? Very good. Corruption. The corruption is one such thing which is trying to affect the service delivery, which is going to the people. Anna. So various way, the bureaucrats who are corrupted, the politicians who are corrupted, who are interfering the duty of the political officers, the political interferences which we have. Okay, all these. And we can also say lack of decentralization. Okay, this centralization of authority is there, especially with related to bureaucrats. One who is delivering the services for everything, they have to get approval from the superiors, and this leads to red tapeism. Okay, that affects the quality service delivery to the people, right? So they are not having control over the decision to make decisions, especially financial decentralization is not there. So they are not able to make decisions related to usage of money, which they have in hand. This leads to poor utilization of resources. So how and all? Now we will connect this poor utilization of resources, that is utilization of public fund. What are the ways the public fund are not utilized in a proper way? So when you're talking about this, we can use two concepts. One is underutilization. Okay. Another one is misutilization of funds. So here you note some points I'll give you. Underutilization and misutilization. Underutilization means where the funds are not utilized. Anna, fund is there, but it is not utilized. So what will be the reasons for underutilization? Inefficiency. We can say the administrative inefficiency and the political inefficiency both leads to underutilization of fund. Okay. So, or the poor implementation of the programs and schemes. Okay. Like this, you write some points related to the utilization of resources. Okay. Under that you write, then we will continue this topic. I'll make to write some notes there also. Have we completed that topic of yesterday? What was the last topic we have done? Work culture, no. Have we completed that? Only factors we have done. I forgot that. You should have remembered me. It's okay, then leave a page. Only the ideal work culture you have to take as notes. Okay, leave one page for that, then you do this. Yes. So write that for utilization. I thought I have completed. Underutilization, put reasons 1, 2, 3, like that you write for underutilization of fund. Inadequate or inefficient, inadequate or inefficient, inadequate or inefficient political and administrative behavior, political and administrative behavior, political and administrative behavior. Next one, lack of public participation, lack of public participation in the form of social audit, all these things, lack of public participation. Lack of public participation in governance. The next one, corruption, corruption. Okay, corruption. Then next, misutilization for that, misutilization. Just write the main reason for misutilization, the main reason for misutilization of fund, misutilization of fund is the various forms of corruption, various forms of corruption prevailing at various levels of, administration. And the weak internal audit structure, and the weak internal audit structure. Okay, weak internal audit structure, comma, poor implementation of laws, LAWS, laws to prevent corruption, laws to prevent corruption, and inefficiency of anti-corruption bodies.
Ma'am, please repeat.
Which one you want to repeat? Entire thing.
No, ma'am, last line only.
What I have said
After prevent corruption.
And inefficiency of anti-corruption bodies. Right. Now, measures to improve utilization of fund. Measures to improve utilization of fund. under that measures to improve utilization of fund, right? First one, distinguish between outputs and outcomes. Distinguish between outputs and outcomes. Okay. Then second, he emphasizing performance audits, emphasizing performance audits. Anna, put a hyphen and write which focuses on 3E. 3E. You know what is 3E? No need to write, expand it. Okay. Enhancing performance audit, focusing on 3E. Then third, provide for a social audit. Provide for a social audit. When we are discussing social audit, I told you, we have done only at the lower level. Social audit has been there only at the lower level, especially the PRIs. Now we have to expand to various levels of government, even including the wing of judiciary. We discussed like that, no? So we have to improve this. So provide a social audit to interfere and scrutinize, to influence and scrutinize, the financial policies, to influence and scrutinize the financial policy, financial policy. Okay, done. So this much is the content. Got it? This is the core. Some students ask me to expand. I can expand it, I can enlarge it, but it's no use. Simply vaguely we have to write again and again the same thing only. So this is the code, this is the idea. You have to use this when you are writing. Right? So what are the ways why we have proper or underutilization of fund? Why we have misutilization of fund? Main thing is corruption only. Misutilization means embezzlement of fund from the government treasury for your own private interest. Why it happens? Because for your own interest, you're doing it. So how and all you can do it? The politician and the bureaucrat can join hands together. They form a nexus. Then, as we have discussed already, a lot of scams, especially when you take the FODA scam, the politician bureaucrat nexus has been revealed. So sometimes the politician, he himself will embezzle the money without the bureaucrat's involvement. Even though the bureaucrat knows it, he will not get involved in it. But on the other hand, sometimes they do join hands, then share the benefit. Okay, this way they are trying to utilize the public fund. Already you know what and all is public fund. Public fund we will not be taking care. Huh? You will study in polity, no? You study or not? There is something called fund, contingency, and what and all? Only contingency. Consolidated. First you have to come with consolidated fund of India. And there is another thing called as public fund also, no? Okay. So then quality service delivery. In that you write the public service delivery as a formula you write. Lacks in quality. Okay. Put a hyphen. We have started already. Quality service delivery we have done. Inside that we have written about the underutilization or misutilization of fund. Now for that you take a formula also. Quality service delivery. Why there is no quality service delivery? Or how the public service delivery is affected. Either way you can write. And are plagued with anything. The bureaucratic shortcomings. Shortcoming plus inefficiency plus political interference and malpractices also you can add. Not only interfering, but malpractices also. Okay, so the main thing is that government's main duty is to design the programs and schemes. Administration is responsible for implementation. So if there is no proper implementation or there is no quality implementation of services which is designed by the government, then who is responsible? Not only the bureaucrat, there is also another person who as a political master interfere in the duty of a bureaucrat. The permanent executive and the political executive. And they are called as temporary executive. So this is as a formula you have to keep for quality service delivery. Then next one, you can mention about how we can improve or how we can bring good service delivery, how we can improve proper service delivery or quality service delivery can be achieved in what and all ways. First one, yes. Anyone? Ensuring public participation. So start with first decentralization. This is an important concept, decentralization. Then we will come to public participation. That will put us the last one, okay? Decentralization. So for improving quality service delivery, first we require decentralization. Okay, and for this process, mainly in order to bring decentralization only, we brought the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. In polity, we'll be studying about that. In 1992, we brought this act. Okay, but whether we have bureaucratic decentralization, that is a question. So far we don't have that, and the bureaucrats are, there is no multi-level decision making in bureaucracy, as the bureaucrats itself is a form of hierarchical structure. Here the decisions are made at the top level and it is passed down as an order or command to the lower level functionaries, and they are made to act on the decision. And over the period, what happens? Innovations, creativity, everything will be put inside a sack, closed, put aside. And now you go with new innovative ideas. You are youngsters. When you are posted there, the orders come from above. And now whatever way you think differently also, they will call you and then they are asking you, why are you not acting as we are saying? You have to follow the precedents. How your seniors has done, you have to say, do the same way. So these types of mentality is still remaining with the people. As I said, the founding philosophy of bureaucracy itself comes from two sources, but the one which dominates is the British philosophy. British made this as a steel frame of India in order to make connectivity, in order to make unity only, in order to bring in unity. So when they tried to bring in unity, they thought that this people should not be people-centric. They have to be government-centric. They should be the face of government only. So when they are the face of government, they replicated the ideas of government. Previously, the ideas of government is only to maintain law and order, strict disciplining. So they thought that these people also should be in this way. So there is no way for decentralization. And also the society's influence was greater on the bureaucracy because the people, they themselves has come from this society, and the patriarchal mentality and the narrow-minded people, they thought that the elders, what they say, the juniors has to obey that. Okay. So there is no way that the elders has to learn from juniors. If it is there, then only creativity will flow. Or if the young minds come with creativity, they are not ready to accept it. So this is leading to decentralization. There is no centralization, this is leading to centralization of authority. And there are some few people who acts as powerhouse inside the administration, where the others were not able to make decision properly. So this leads to lack of efficiency. Okay, so decentralization. So we have to bring decentralization, right? Second, community mobilization. This also can improve the service delivery. Community mobilization. How will you do community mobilization? Huh? Civil society. Involvement of civil society organizations inside administration. That with the help of civil society organizations, the people has to be created awareness and they should be included inside governance. They should made to question the administrators, one who is performing his functions. They should know the right of questioning him. Okay, I have the right, I have the auditing mechanisms also in hand. I can question him if he's not performing his duty. So this type of mentality has to be there, and that we call as community mobilization. Third, reduction of corruption. How will you reduce corruption? This and all, this one factor will improve the service delivery to a large extent. How will you reduce corruption? So by strengthening the internal audit mechanisms, like this you have to write, okay? Strengthening internal audit mechanisms. Then, yes. So make them independent. Give autonomy and more power to anti-corruption bodies. Then strengthen the law and regulations, not only strengthen and proper implementation, that both are required. No, you simply strengthen the law and put it there. In the paper only it is there in the theoretical way. What is the use? Huh? So laws and regulations related to this has to be strengthened. Like this, you have to bring up how and all, what are the ways you can reduce the corruption. That you have. ICT, strengthening ICT. That you can also add as a separate thing. Technology. Technology friendly administration is very important to bring in citizen-centric administration. Okay, so the main problem is that all those people who has been coming out in the winter, many of your friends are online. But if you are also not there, I have to teach only the chairs. Technology friendly administration, it brings in citizen-centric administration. As we have already discussed about what are the ways you can strengthen, e-governance, all those things which you have to bring. This also reduces corruption. If technology is improved, corruption also is reduced to some extent. Okay, but they will also devise new mechanisms to corrupt. So you think plan A, they will come to plan C. That's unavoidable. But at the same time, this too has to be strengthened together. And also the cyber security has to be strengthened. So technology is not the only solution. Along with that, security is also important. So cyber security mechanisms. Okay, all this has to be given for quality service delivery. And we already have a Public Service Guarantee Act. You know that? Public Service Guarantee Act is already existing related to this quality service delivery. Have you heard about this act? You have right to services. How you have right to privacy, right to information, same way right to services is there, but it's not a central act. Okay, this is a state act. A state is formulating this act. So every state has that independence and autonomy to decide how this act has to be formulated. So this is there. The few states has already formulated this Public Service Guarantee Act, especially to provide services like birth certificate, passport, all these utility types of services. When they are providing, they will associate with this act. So within the time frame, time-bound delivery of services. Mainly this act was bought for time-bound delivery of goods and services. So within particular time, that utility service has to reach the people. If not, then what happened? You can question the authorities, concerned authorities, for not providing the services based on this act. Okay, they will be questioned for not delivering the services properly at the proper time. So this is something which you can verify. Public Service Guarantee Act, write and keep. You can use it when you're writing answers. Right? Then Niti Aayog has come out with the reasons for not performing of public services. No quality service delivery. Why? So that was a question, and Niti Aayog came out with some ideas. Along with this, you can include that also. We have given 4 no. Along with this, you can add this mismatch between position and skill set. You can write nearby Niti Aayog. These are measures suggested by, these are the flaws which are identified by Niti Aayog. You know what is Niti Aayog? National think tank. So you just write near this, you wrote 4 points. Along with this, you add 5th one. And nearby you write Niti Aayog's flaw. They identified these flaws in the delivery of services, and they brought these suggestions. Mismatch between position and skill set. Mismatch between position and skill sets. Which one? The Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog identified the flaws in delivery of services. Okay. And came out with these points. Delivery of services. Flaws in public services or flaws in delivery of services. And they came out with these points. First one, mismatch between position and skill sets. Mismatch between position and skill sets. Mismatch between position and skill sets. What is that? This is a long time it is pending, but no, we are not taking care of that. You all are studying for UPSC. How you are writing exam, a common exam you are writing. You just get clear and go inside after securing marks. then what happened? Each and everyone has a unique talent. It is not identified. They post you and you are doing a general service. So there is no efficiency. They are saying that your position is not related to your skills. So that inefficiency is also leading to improper delivery of services. So that mismatch between, what is that sound? Mismatch between position and skill sets. Next one. Next. Recruitment that is not competence specific. Recruitment that is not competency specific. Recruitment that is not competency specific. Competency. Competency specific. See, recruitment process already we have. What type of recruitment we are doing? Only we are checking for IQ. In interview, which is going to have for 45 minutes, already I can see some of the candidates who are doing Oscar winning performance here. Here only they do Oscar winning performance in the mock interview. Anna, in the mock interview which I take, they are giving Oscar winning performance and that how they will behave. We are not able to predict how these people are. Anna, the competency is not clearly known. You know only the IQ. IQ is already done, checked through the way you are expressing your answers and your prelims test. All are doing an IQ check only. What about the other competency which a civil servant requires? Now not only IQ is important. We are just moving ahead. All the world countries, international level, we are talking about how we have to have EQ. Now IQ, okay, you all will have. What you will do with IQ? You should have better EQ. You should have CQ. You should have AQ. Without CQ, no. You have how much IQ you have. You will not able to sustain after some time. And you will fall down. You will go to the height. You will fall down. What is the reason? Because you don't have CQ. Curiosity quotient, to learn new things, to develop new things, to being creative and innovative. This and all is checked? No. So to limited extent only. That is why they say the recruitment is not competence specific in order to recruit the administrators who are acting as the backbone of government. Then next point, we have given high degree of centralization. We have written that is also a point suggested by Niti Aayog. Decentralization will improve quality service delivery. In that way we have done. We have done decentralization will improve the quality service delivery. Okay. So how have you written? I have confused you, so these are measures to improve quality service delivery. In that way only you have written, all are written in the right way. Technology will improve. Okay, fine. Now, when you're writing Niti Aayog, you're writing challenges faced under. Okay, don't confuse it. Challenges faced under the public service delivery. Okay, in that first point, mismatch between position and skill sets. Challenges, you write, put the heading challenges. I forgot that. I thought I have given challenges and I asked you to continue. So first, mismatch between position and skill sets. Second, recruitment is not competence specific. Third, high degree of centralization. Again, rewrite, no problem. High degree of centralization. High degree of centralization. High degree of centralization. High degree of centralization. Okay. Fourth, outdated laws, rules, and procedure. Outdated laws, rules, and procedure. Okay. So same laws which was formed a long ago. We are carrying that in the shoulders, and we are asking the civil servant, you have to stick to the rules, regulations, and laws. You have to follow it. So day by day, everything is improving, but the laws are same only. So how a civil servant who is going to face the younger generations, the new people who are there in the field level with the outdated laws, there is no scope of improving the deliveries of services. So that's why they have mentioned outdated laws, rules, and procedure. Next one, lack of professionalism. Lack of professionalism. Lack of professionalism. So professional values are lacking in the civil servant when they are handling the particular position. Next, poor work culture. Poor work culture. Poor work culture. Next point, politicization of services. This word you underline, politicization of services. Already you know criminalization of politics, these types of words you are using. So now we are going to do politicization of services. In spite of politicians doing their job, they are coming and interfering in the day-to-day administration of an administrator. So politicization because of an ego clash. They doesn't want them to surpass them or do something on the, you have every authority to act in your office. In your office, you are the king. In the district, you are the ruler. But what happens here? The political interference is trying to stop or inhibit your day-to-day functioning. If this is going to happen, how you will deliver a good services to the people? Anna. So politicization of service is the last one. Then, yes. So how you can improve now? Now we have done the challenges. We have seen that the ways are how and all we can improve this. Much more points related to improving the service delivery. Any other points? Let me see. Mission Karma Yogi, okay. That's a schema, okay, fine. That we'll also write for the previous topic, work culture. To improve work culture, in that I will include. You have less space, no? Okay, we'll do that. Any other? Transparency and accountability. How will you enhance accountability? Right, that enhancing accountability. Here you can continue. You have written 4 points, no? 5th point, like that you can continue, okay? Enhancing accountability. Enhancing accountability. So these are the ways you can improve the service delivery. Already we have discussed 4 points. One is decentralization. Second is community mobilization and awareness. Third is technology oriented. Fourth, reducing corruption. So how will you enhance accountability mechanism to improve the service delivery? Strengthening the laws. Right, A. Yeah, very good. Strengthening the laws, update the laws and strengthen the laws. Okay. Second, update and strengthen the laws. That is point A. Then point B. This is how you have to think. Do you get it now? Somebody asked notes and all. Please keep this in mind when you're, that is why I'm initiating the thought process in you. When you write, you have to come out with various points. How and all ways we can improve the service delivery. Then you have to add it in your question. Then second, you can also write competition in civil service, bringing competition in civil service, not this competition after you enter into civil service, not now. So when you take the service, with that it ends. No, after you get into service, there is no competition after that. You are going to follow the same steps of your presidents, your seniors. Anna, then you are going to follow the same rules and same regulations. You are there in your office. Daily you will go at 9 o'clock, he'll come back at 5 o'clock. In meantime, you will come in between also. But there is some time that in that time you are doing your duty. Coming back, even though you are going to implement new schemes or you are going to think creatively or innovatively, you are going to get your salary. So where there is competition, there is nothing. Even your seniority, that is your promotion, is not dependent on your performance in India. So why you want to be creative? And unnecessarily, I have a lot of pressure. And again, I want to be creative also. And this type of mentality comes to people. So you have to encourage competition in civil service. This will bring accountability. Right? One person will keep check of the other person. One person will look into the other person's growth. The way he is getting appreciation from various people for his innovations and all. So then that way he can improve. So next, enforcing strict disciplinary regime inside the department. Enforcing strict disciplinary regime. Strict disciplinary regime. Enforcing strict disciplinary regime. Why? Already we said that even some flaws are done by the administrators. The network of administrators, that is called the department. Department is nothing but like that only, no? So you are like a child inside your department. Now, every mother will come to rock the cradle. If a child is crying, all the bureaucrats, they will come together, they will fight for you, and they will not allow anybody to make inquiry on you. So there comes a word called sanction. The department has to sanction the inquiry on you. Then only they will start the inquiry. So if this is the condition, then how you will be checked or kept checked? Anna, yes. Right. This peers and people and all, when we are free, they will not call. And then, next one, emphasizing the performance. So like accountability, next point. So you can also improve accountability in this ways. Next point, emphasizing the performance. How will you emphasize the performance? This also will be a part of accountability only. Yes. How will you emphasize the performance? Already second ARC come out with various suggestions. We have not yet implemented it. Okay. Now you can put hyphen and write now the promotion in the civil service. The promotion in the civil service. Okay. Is done with seniority, but second ARC has suggested for, but the second ARC has suggested that the existing performance appraisal system, the second ARC has suggested that the existing performance appraisal system is unsatisfactory, because it is unsatisfactory because it has excessive reliance on, it is unsatisfactory because it has excessive reliance on annual confidential report, ACR, excessive reliance on annual confidential report, ACR, and has suggested that it should be transparent with, 360-degree, and has suggested that it has to be transparent with 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback, like numeric rating. 360-degree suggested that it has to be what I told, suggested that it has to be 360-degree feedback like numeric rating. No, in army, you go, armed forces, they give this. Numerical rating will be there for you. Any of you have done short services in army? Not it. Good. And an independent third-party assessment and an independent third-party assessment. Okay, like numerical rating and an independent third-party assessment. Now only the department is doing the assessment. No, department is submitting the annual confidential report. Department is doing the assessment. Again, the department only is deciding who has to be promoted. So all this are done by the department. So they will be favoring some person. They will not favor some person who's honest. It's happening. The honest persons are not getting promoted easily. So they are even transferred to the remotest locations. So that's why they are saying that here the ACR should not be completely relied on. This ACR is already developed by the department. Within the department only, the department makes this ACR, the report, the confidential report. So apart from this, we have to go outside. We have to give a 360-degree feedback about the performance of the civil servant at the field, along with the third-party assessment. Means the people from the outside the bureaucracy party, outside the bureaucracy from various bodies has to come and assess this report. Okay, whether this is right only, whether the report has been done in the proper way, or any favoritism is relying on, or whether it is done on a merit basis. This way they have to analyze. Okay. Next, enforce an effective disciplinary regime. Enforcing effective disciplinary regime. Have we written that point? No. Through that also, we can improve the services. Effective disciplinary regime. Effective disciplinary regime. Written it? Then you leave it. Then next one, transforming work culture. Transforming work culture. Under that, first point you write, transforming work culture. How can we transform the work culture to improve the service delivery? And then under that first point, multi-level hierarchical structure. Multi-level hierarchical structure be reduced. Multi-level hierarchical structure be reduced. Multi-level hierarchical structure be reduced. And an officer-oriented system. Officer-oriented system. And an officer-oriented system with level jumping. Officer-oriented system with level jumping. Officer-oriented system with level jumping be introduced. Okay, be introduced. Why? To speed up the decision making. Inside the bracket, you write to speed up decision making. So you would have studied in management, there is something called as gangplank. You would have studied, no, in administration also you study this word called gangplank, which we follow in private administration, the private management and all. If there is an emergency, then they will not wait for the manager to make a decision. In the lower level itself, everyone will have some power, discretionary powers to make a decision at the emergency situation, needy time. But here in administration, it's not the case. For anything, you are waiting to be decided by the superiors. So that's why we are saying that the level jumping has to be there and multi-level hierarchical system has to be reduced. This type of work culture has to be brought. Second, government offices to be modernized. Modernized means not with the luxurious. Government offices should be modernized. So not with luxurious sofas and all. Modernized means we are talking about ICTs. Computers and other gadgets has to be provided for the usage of the administrator. Because people now theft is happening in different level. And administrator is still staying the lower level without any improvement in ICT. Actually, these people are already seniors. Now youngsters are entering inside. They are technologically friendly. They have a lot of knowledge related to technology, but the seniors are not ready to accept it. They don't even how to operate a mobile properly. Many are like that. In the services itself, people doesn't know how to do this. Then they feel very bad if from the above, higher level, they are trying to give ICT. They are trying to induce ICT. It is not friendly for them. So they are resisting it from inside. Okay. Then third, dehumanization of work. Dehumanization of work has to be checked. Dehumanization of work has to be checked. What is dehumanization of work? Yes. Any idea? What happens in administration? A leader has a team. You are not alone. You will have a team. When you go into an office, starting from IPS, IAS, everybody will have your team. So when you are the person who are leading the team, you have to treat every person with humanity. No, they are also workers. They are also there. You will be going on time, you'll come on time. You'll also come in between. You have every permission for that because you are the one who's there, who is the his control of that particular content. The office is in your hand. But what happened to the other people? They will be there before you. They have to collect everything. You take an officer. Every time he will be there only. The sub-inspector level police and all, they have to stay overnight. They have to be doing the duty. They have to come early morning. What happened? You are using abusive words. You are getting pressure from various people. Then you just show the pressures on these people and treating them in an inhuman manner. So that and all should be reduced. This will improve the work culture. Dehumanization of work. So this will lead to low productivity. These people will do social loafing. What is meant by social loafing? They never put entire effort in doing the duty. They will simply just try to eyewash. What they used to do, they sit, they come to office, they will not put the entire person effort in solving some problems. They'll just do, they will sit, they will go after the office hours. They will not contribute to the, so that is dehumanization of work. Next, employees are knowledge workers and they have to be provided with challenging task. This will also improve work culture. Challenging task. Okay. Employees has to be provided with challenging task to motivate and empower them. Employees has to provide with challenging task to motivate and empower them. Motivate and empower them. Okay. Then last point you can write to motivate and empower them. So same work, same every day. You get bored, you will not put your effort, and this will also lower the productivity. This will also affect the service delivery. So every day you're giving with, not every day, at least few days later, you change to different work. Okay, still now you have done the implementation level. You went to collect data. Now you do this job. You sit in the office, you try to assort those data which has been given to you. You check whether that is right or wrong. You inquire it. Like this, you are trying to modify the task for the employees, and this will improve his creativity also. This will also improve his efficiency. Okay. Then next point you write privatization and contracting out. That also will improve the service delivery. Privatization and contracting out. Privatization and contracting out. Okay, privatization and contracting out. These ways. So this need not explain now what is meant by privatization and contracting out. Instead of government, simply they are extending their hand everywhere. They can give it to the private players who are doing it in the better way, the qualified way. So that way you can also improve the service delivery, right? Now, in the previous chapter, okay, you want 5 minutes break? Online students, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many of you have written the answers in such a way that you have not looked into any reference books for a test, for the class test I'm asking? No answers. Yes.
Ma'am, your notes.
Okay, so you have seen that and written. I know issues, but some people has written answers for only 2 questions. Try to write the answers for the 4 questions, okay? Just try to attempt. I don't know whether you have written, closed the books, came here and wrote the answer, that and all, I don't know. Might you have been referred the books. You might have referred the books. I hope so. So even if you are referred, try to frame answer for 4 questions at least. Next test also will be having. No, today the class will end. But again, I only will come here. So I'll give the questions for ethics. Last 3 is remaining. No, 3rd unit, 6th unit, and the 7th unit is remaining for you. So I'll give test regarding that. And even for case study, you need. Separate test. That's why I'm asking. You need for case study. No need. So the vague faces I can see. Fearful. Why test? Still that mentality. Many people are there in that mentality. Even then classes get over. You are now completed your college. So try to face that. If this is class test, no, nobody is going to ask you whether you have done it or not. First of all, you do it on your own. That's it. But you get some experience while seeing that questions, right? So fine. So where we left in the last topic, the work culture. Yeah. So now you factors which are affecting the work culture, that we have done, no? That we have done, right? Okay. So start with how to improve the work culture. So how we can improve the work culture, that only we have to do. How we can improve the work culture. So in that, first one, induction training. How and all the ways we can improve the work culture. Induction training, the first way to improve the work culture. Under induction training, put point number 1. Okay, you write induction training. Okay, under this point number 1, induction training, role-based than rule-based. The civil servant has to be trained role-based than rule-based. Okay, first point. Role-based than rule-based. Second, allocating work. Role-based than rule-based. Then allocating work based on competency. Allocating work based on their competencies. So when you're giving induction training, you have to check the competency level of the civil servant, then allocate the work accordingly. Okay, so allocate work based on their competencies. Third, emphasis on on-site learning. Emphasis on on-site learning. On-site you put inside single quotation. Emphasis on on-site learning to complement the off-site learning. Emphasis on on-site learning to complement the off-site learning. So on-site learning, you know what is the meaning of that? Field level study has to be there. Okay. Then done the point. Should I repeat? The last point, calibrate the civil service positions. calibrate the civil service position to a calibrate the civil service position to a framework of calibrate the civil service position to a framework of roles, to the framework of roles, activities, and competencies. Roles, activities, and competencies. Okay, roles, activities, and competencies. Inside bracket, you write FRAC, short form, FRAC, yes, small s, FRAC, small s, all are in capital, S in small, approach. Close the bracket, right, approach. So calibrate the civil service position to framework of roles, activities, and competencies approach. Okay, so these are some of the ways we can improve the work culture of a civil service, a civil servant. The mentality itself has to be changed based on role, not based on the rule. And based on the competency, if you are allocating a work, he will put more effort in order to complete it. So in this way, we are trying to improve the work culture. And this is said by Mission Karma Yogi. In nearby, you write Mission Karma Yogi. Is all these points are taken from Mission Karma Yogi. Okay. Right. Then next point. Under the induction training itself, you can write, make available to all civil servants. Make available to all civil servants. Make available to all civil servants an opportunity. Make available to all civil servants an opportunity to continuously build and strengthen the behavioral, their behavioral, functional and domain competencies. Their behavioral, functional and domain competencies. Okay. So the training has to be in such a way that it should not be only as an induction training which you get inside for a service. It has to be done at a periodic training, should also be provided to the civil servant to improve their competency level. Okay, right? Then next, role model. So first one is induction training. Second, through role model, you can improve the work culture. Role model. So how through role model you'll improve the work culture? Huh? Anyone? So you said about induction, instrumental conditioning. You used to talk, no, in instrumental conditioning, there are two ways. One is appreciating and encouraging the behavior and making them to do it. Okay, so how you can, if a person is doing wrong, you can appreciate him and encourage him? No, the one who is doing right has to be appreciated and encouraged in front of him. One such thing is role model. Okay, so put a hyphen and write, always praising and appreciate the seniors. Praising and appreciate the senior or fellow mates. Praising, appreciating, rewarding, any word you can use. The fellow mates, the seniors and fellow mates, seniors or fellow mates. Okay. For the outstanding performance. For the outstanding performance. And portray them as the role model. Portray them as a role model. Portray them as a role model of the organization. So of the organization, role model. Portray them as the role model of the organization. These type of honest officers has to be identified and they have to be portrayed as a role model. Now what happened? The organization will inculcate the value systems of these people as a value system of the organization itself. Organization means who? All the people, all the bureaucrats who are inside the administration or is the organization, right? Now rewards and punishment. Next point, rewards and punishments. This is we call as instrumental conditioning. You can also write in the bracket as instrumental conditioning. What are all the rewards which is there? I asked you to refer charter mark also. Have you done that after going home? Yes. You write negative reinforcements and positive reinforcements. Under rewards and punishment, you just write the rewards heading like this, okay? Rewards and punishment. Under this, first one, negative reinforcements. Then positive reinforcements. Huh? So negative reinforcements, what are those called as negative reinforcement? You write disciplinary actions to discourage unwanted behaviors. Disciplinary actions to discourage unwanted behaviors. Unwanted behaviors like censure. Okay, these are some of the disciplinary actions that can be taken. Censure, withholding increments, actions. What I said, to discourage the unwanted behaviors. Discourage the unwanted behaviors like censure, 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 withholding increments, demotion, like this. So all these, put etc. Demotions, waiting list, suspension, dismissal, all these are some of the disciplinary action. Okay. Then how you will reward the people? How, what is called as positive reinforcement? Rewarding those people who are showing good behaviors inside the administration, rewarding them. How will you reward? What are those rewards which is there? Like promotions you can give. Yes, all this you can write, and also you can mention about 2 awards. One is PM's award for excellence in public administration. Like this, you have to encourage with more award. Okay, PM's award for excellence in public administration. PM's award for excellence in public administration. PM's award for excellence in public administration. Then public service award for UN is there. You know that, no? Public service award by UN. UN is giving this award, public service award. Same for excellence in public service only. Those people can be given this award. Okay. Public service award. Then innovation award is there. Like this, we have to bring in more awards in order to encourage these people. Apart from promotions, apart from promotions, incentives, appraisals, all these things, you also should bring in and you appreciate these people using some awards. Okay. Right. That's it. Then you can also write organize public meetings, periodic meetings. Okay. Organizing periodic meetings. Okay. Organize periodic meetings to exchange the best practices among the administrators, to exchange the best practices among the administrators. Okay. You already have that, but periodically it has to be conducted. It has to be conducted. Best practices among the administrators. So this will also improve the work culture. Done. So we have completed this quality service delivery. The remaining one is corruption. So now you have better idea about corruption than me, I think. Then yes. Now start with corruption. What is corruption? Simply I'll ask a question. Now, so far they have not asked what is corruption. Favoritism, right? Like this, when they're asking what is corruption, you have to define what is corruption. You are saying the forms of corruption. Am I right? This is called definition of corruption. Anything which is unlawful is corruption. Okay, like this, I'm asking a definition for corruption. So you write you draw a diagram for corruption. Corruption. First, you have to know what is corruption. So I'm going to give the broadest view of corruption in this definition. So corruption, yes. It's getting colder, I think, because there are less number of students. That's the reason. That's the reason, or some other thing, or it is getting chiller than morning. Nowhere it is to be there. In the night time, it is dropping around 1 degree or something. Rare now in Delhi. Previously, 10 years or 12 years back, it was the case in Delhi. 2006 it was like that. 2019. Oh, then also the temperature dropped. Okay. Uh-huh. Next, it's going to be 2 degrees. Now that's why we shifted the class to 10 o'clock this 1 week. Deliberate or intentional. Exploitation. Aggrandizement. For your own selfish nature, you want everything for yourself, like mongering type. You say that absorbing everything, so that kind of character. See, I don't have space, I'm bringing it down. You need not draw in the same pattern. You can do it in the same straight line. You can draw in the same manner, okay? You also don't have space. You are done vertically, I think so. You should have done horizontally, na? Yes. You can add beyond the corruption is something, a deliberate intention. Now, without unknowingly, nobody will involve in corruption. So it's a deliberate or intentional exploitation of power, position, or status. Okay, power. So power, position, status, even you can add resources here. Because position, status are same, I think. Resources. You can add resources. Resources also. Okay, so we are trying to exploit all these things for personal aggrandizement, either in a direct way or in an indirect way. You can also put that here. Either directly, you yourself devising the plan, involving in it, or indirectly, okay, not doing a duty also. You're just avoiding if somebody is trying to misuse the power. That's also. So indirectly, okay. So this personal aggrandizement can be of material gains, can be of enhancement of power, authority. Okay, moving up in the ladder. It can be of any form. It can be of kind, or it can be of any cash, or it can be due to prestige. So all these things you can add as a personal aggrandizement. And what we have written, beyond the legitimate or sanctioned norms. Okay, beyond the legitimate or sanctioned or accepted norms, you are misusing your power. So which results in the detriment of an individual growth or the community growth, right? So this way you have to define corruption. Or in simple way, the Transparency International. Transparency International is a body, no? Who is that body? Already UPSC asked a question related to Transparency International also. Right? Transparency International defines corruption as. Transparency International defines corruption as. Inside double quotation, you write Transparency International. Transparency International is a body. It's an NGO. Transparency International defines corruption as. Defines corruption as. Inside double quotation, you can write the abuse of entrusted power, the abuse of entrusted power, the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. The abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So this is how Transparency International is defined about corruption. Okay, the abuse of entrusted power for personal gain. Right? This is corruption. And what are the causes for corruption? Why we are facing corruption now? What are the causes? Why you feel that corruption is existing? One is for personal gain. Okay. One, the person want to grow. Why he want to grow? That's called as something which is related to the social causes. It is linked to the social causes because previously the society used to consider the growth of an individual based on the means ends theory. Okay, if he is going on, they will not see only the end, how he is living. They will not see how he is living now. He will see how he has gained this status, how he has gained this position, how he has earned this money. This much money he has earned immediately, how it has come. This is where the society will value his growth. But now there is only unidimensional growth of the society. Society only expects the outcome. Okay, see, you and him are grow together. Now he is going in by Benz. You are going by legs. Anna, this way the mother is asking the child. Then what happened? It's like touching the ego of a person. He is very sincere person. He is very honest in his dealings. He works in the public office. His friend is also working in the public office. He does everything for the benefit of people without, satisfying his own interest. But his own family is not respecting him. Then why he need that position? The father and mother is asking, then why we want you, we made you to study. We spend a lot of money on you. And you are not giving, you are not bringing, you no need to pay interest for the loan we have taken. You have to at least bring back something. You are coming empty-handed daily. Even no fruits in your hand when you come home. That much salary you are getting from the government. Then why are you going for that work? So like that, this type of question, even one of the son, the Ironwala's son, who is doing a peon job in some office, he is having 2 houses for himself. This type of question is coming from the society. The society is questioning your honesty. And then that leads to misuse of power. Okay, so this person is involving in corruption. This is one such cause, we can say the societal causes. Okay, and comparison, where one person is comparing the growth of another person. Okay, I am still here. That person has meant move ahead. He is working in a private sector. He is getting a lot of perks, lot of salaries, lot of casual lifestyles. Every Sunday going for party. Okay, nothing. Private or public office is not giving me anything. So let me utilize this position. Let me utilize this position that I'll try to gain whatever I can from this office. This type of mentality is coming to the people because of the salaries they receive, right? So then historical causes is one such cause which leads to corruption. Whenever you're writing a corruption, if a question comes, then you have to touch all these causes. Why the corruption is prevailing? That type of question is coming in the mind of people. Okay, so what is historical causes? Long back, since ancient times, corruption was there. Now, corruption is like how you and me living. Corruption is also living among us. Like in the various forms it is living, and people are ready to accept it. It's already got embedded in the social fabric. It is very hard to eliminate it completely. We have to try to reduce it to some extent. We cannot eliminate it. So there is a difference. We cannot completely eliminate the corruption from our society, but we have to reduce it step by step. So that for that only we are suggesting the measures. We cannot simply remove that. Okay, so this is something, I will remove this paper from here, I'll put it there. It's not that kind of work we are going to do, because since ancient times, corruption has perpetuated every sphere of life. Okay, that's in the name of transactional corruption. It started, and even we are ready to accept it. We are ready to pay the bribes to the public officers to get our job done. And if it is the case, then how the public officer who is sitting in the office will refuse to take bribes from the people? So this is the situation. So we call this as the historical causes. And above all, there is lack of mechanisms to check this corruption. As we have said from the previous class, from the beginning of the class till end, we are talking about that lack of proper measures, mechanisms to check the corruption. Even though we don't have strong implementation of those laws and power related to those bodies, as one of your friends has asked about Lokpal and Lokayutaks, as well as we do have state anti-corruption bureaus, anti-corruption bodies. Apart from that, we also have CBC, CVC, ED, all are existing around us. We see different names in the newspaper. Then and then new bodies are also formed. When we are talking about corporate scams, we said that every now and then we are trying to introduce new regulating authority. But what's the use? They don't have proper coordination among themselves in order to tackle an issue. As how in order to tackle the corporate scam, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs made an MOU with SEBI, the independent regulator. So they do not come under the ministry. SEBI does not come under the ministry. SEBI is operating on its own, and it has a legal backing. So it's a strong body. So SEBI has made an agreement with the ministry. Why? In order to stop the corruption, which is happening in the corporate sector. Same way, all the bodies which are operating outside has to be in a link. There should be exchange of information between them. It's like a competition they are undergoing, because some scams which is to be dealt by CBC has to be dealt by, CBI has to be dealt by CVC also. So now what happens? Who is going to solve this issue? This type of mentality is coming to these people. So they are not trying to exchange the information which they have. They are hoarding it. So how the cases will get settled? So other than that, the legal judicial system in our country is very slow, and we are having a delay in delivering the justice. And those who are involving in corruption, above all these things, the departments is giving the protection hands for them in the name of Article 311. So all these are making them more stronger, and even they get involved in these type of cases. Already they are informative. Already they hold the information which they have in hand. It is not easy to part with the information. It's not easy to identify what these people has done in their place as an administrator. Even then they try to identify and they want to start an inquiry. Then comes the department. In the name of sanctions, they are protecting them. So these types of measures are protecting the officers who are involving in corruption. And that's how this corruption started strengthening and started prevailing in every part of the department, because one person, the senior officer who is involved in the corruption, has to secure his name. He secures his subordinates along with his name. So this is the way that we are saying these are some of the causes which leads to the prevailing of corruption inside governance. One thing, right? Then what are the challenges we face? Challenges. Write that. Challenges of corruption. That you write. Before that, social corruption. What is social corruption? What is social corruption? Yesterday only I told you. Yeah, very good. So one will take the money and it is shared by everyone who is there in that particular public department. You write social corruption. Put a hyphen first before challenges of corruption, write social corruption. Even in challenges, you can also write this as a one point. Anna, when you're writing challenges of corruption, why corruption cannot be removed from the system, one point you can use social corruption also. So put hyphen and write social corruption. It is a form of corruption in which it is a form of corruption in which the corrupted money, it is a form of corruption in which the corrupted money does not end up in, corrupted money does not end up in, the corrupted money does not end up in an individual official pocket. An individual official packet. Individual official packet. But rather, individual official packet, rather it goes into individual collective, individual official packet, rather it goes into the institution's collective offers. Okay, rather it goes into the institution's collective offers. It goes into the institution's collective coffers. COFFERS, collective coffers. It goes into the institution's collective coffers and shared among every officials. Okay, the shared among every officials. Done. So now you write the challenges of corruption. In that, first you can write social corruption as one point, first point. Now you know what is meant by social corruption. There are various forms of corruptions. No, that and all we need not do here. So when I'll forward notes, you can read in that. Embezzlement, bribe, grafting, like all form of corruption will be there. Okay, even grand corruption, petty corruption, we give different names for that. Grand corruption, the corruption at the higher level, where the schemes has been allotted budget. In the budget itself, we are doing a lot of corruptions, that and all come under grand corruption. Petty corruption means at lower level, where you offer money to the, what that will? For your utilities. And especially when you bump the traffic light and all, you provide money to the traffic officers. So these are petty corruptions. Challenges of corruption. First one, you have it written that social corruption itself is acting as a challenge to remove corruption from the organization. Second, lack of code of ethics. Lack of code of ethics. Third, poor implementation of laws. Poor implementation of laws. Third, lack of proper corruption combating agencies. And their uninterrupted functioning. Corruption combating agencies and their uninterrupted functioning. Then uninterrupted functioning. Lack of transparency. The next one, general culture of society and its values. general culture of society and its values. And its values which comes in conflict with, and its values which comes in conflict with the professional or organizational values, which comes in conflict with the professional or organizational values. Then you can also write lack of public opinion. Lack of public opinion. Which the last point. What you are asking? Done. A lack of public opinion. Next, existing inefficient judiciary. Existing inefficient judiciary. Inefficient judiciary. Okay. Then accepting corruption as a way of life. Accepting corruption, especially bribe, as a way of life. As a way of life. Done. As a way of life. Okay. So we have done with the 7th unit. Now in this ethical issue, if you want to mention, corruption itself is an ethical issue only. Okay. So it's an unethical act. So how will you write if they are asking is an ethical issues related to corruption? How will you write? You know, any topic you take, you have to think from the ethical stand. So if you're taking corruption, then what happens? What are the ethical issues which will be involved in it? All are unethical only related to corruption. What corruption is going to do? Corruption is going to erode the trust and confidence from the people. How it is going to erode? Why people are not having trust? Because of corruption. Because people's money is eaten away by someone. For his own personal interest, he is taking away the people's money which has to reach the people. This money is already given to the government by the people only. It does not come from sky or it does not come from a tree. It is given by people as we pay in the form of taxes. Various direct and indirect taxes we pay to the government, and they are responsible for this money. They are not able to secure this money because they are not the owner of this money. They are the one who are representing this money there in the form of holding the position. They are taking the position of permanent executives and the position of temporary executives. And even then they are trying to erode this money, erode the value systems of the organization itself, which is already built for the welfare of the people. They are not delivering welfare to the people, are not taking care of the well-being of the people. So this is a big ethical issue which the corruption is bringing in the society. Then you have to connect every other thing. What corruption is going to erode. All the things you have to connect and give us an ethical problem related to corruption. Okay. So 7th unit also got over. And all the topic will come under corruption. Utilization, proper misutilization, underutilization of fund, all these are a form of corruptions only. Not performing a duty is also a form of corruption. That's why already I mentioned act of omission and act of commission. So 7th unit also we have completed successfully. And 5th unit is something a philosophical part, which I never do for any classes. Okay. Already in the 7th unit itself, many people have slept in the class. So a philosophical part is something like which will be very completely in depth. You have to learn about some theories and all. In ethics, not depth level is required. That's why I have made a notes related to that. Not an elaborate note, where a sufficient note is enough. Instead of studying all those theories, what he said, what that person said, Kant said, around some 50-60 members are there. We cannot remember all the theories, all the topics said by these people, except few. Those who are very important, I'll be forwarding to you. You can read it. So see how you have to read it. For example, suppose I'm starting from Epicurus. He is the first one who came with the philosophy of Gordon. We call that philosophy as philosophy of Gordon. Why? It's a philosophy written for Gordon or something like that. Because his followers, all these people will have some followers. These followers used to meet in the garden. So that's why it's called as a philosophy of Gordon. Epicurus is the one who is the father of hedonism, that is happiness. Hedonism is a concept, is a theory which talks about human happiness. All humans aspire to be happy. Everyone want to be happy only, So that Epicurus has said that in order to become happy, okay, what you have to do, you have to involve in pleasure. So nowadays they are taking it wrongly. They are considering pleasure means the different type of pleasure, like women, drugs, alcohols. These are not pleasures according to him. according to him, he is talking about the high standards of pleasure. So that man is pleasure seeking. He has to go for higher refinements of pleasure. What are higher refinements of pleasure? Art, music, studies, all are higher refinements of pleasure. Anna, so I know that you are very angry to kill that Epicurus. He is saying that the higher refinement of pleasure is something which you study and get it, which you read books and get it, which you listen to music and you get it. So he says man has always a liking for fondness for happiness. And if this is something his ethical principle is saying, that is truth. That is by nature, man is aspiring to become happy. Okay, that's a hedonism principle. And if this man is hedonistic in nature, he has to attach to higher refinements in his life. And then he has to seek pleasure, not the fly away pleasure, that which comes and goes away, like passing clouds. This is the concept of Epicurus. That's enough. More than this, you did not study Epicurus born in this year, died in this year. He lived in this way. This way, the stories will be given. In many books, they are giving in this pattern and all, not required at all. Second, if you come to the next concept, next philosopher of Aristotle, you take, for example, Aristotle. Aristotle has come up with various philosophies. That and all is not important here. One main concept of Aristotle is eudaimonia concept. What is eudaimonia? A happiness. Again, it's a form of happiness. His theory is also, he is also a hedonist only. He says that man always wants to be a perfect human being. Why a man wants to be a perfect human being? By perfection, he seeks happiness. Epicurus said that man aspires to become happy. Man wants to be happy always. So he has to go for higher refinements in order to have a long-lasting happiness. But this person, that Aristotle, is talking about the perfection. Man always seeks perfection in life. And everybody, they want everything to be perfect in their life. And through perfection, they attain happiness. That's the idea which was given by Aristotle. For this, he gave a name called eudaimonia concept. Eudaimonia is the highest happiness man can seek in his life. How a man will be perfect in his life? Only by sticking to virtues. That is why his concept of virtue ethics came. We already discussed about virtue ethics, Aristotle's virtue ethics. So here comes the eudaimonia concept attached with virtue ethics. So what he said, if a man has to follow virtues, he has to avoid vices in his life. Okay, like this. Whenever you're reading this type of concept, you make a tableau column like this. Okay. Don't write unnecessary things in that. You write philosophers. Then their ideas. What ideas they have come up with? The philosophers, what are the ideas given by those philosophers? Like now I am doing. Epicurus means then you have to write what is his idea about related to ethics and ethical related principles only you have to have. Not other than that. These people will have various backgrounds. So they will talk related to sometimes administration, they will talk. Management, they will talk. Some other thing which they will try to do. Polity, they will talk. But what we require is something which is related to our ethics. So here he is talking about life, Epicurus. He says that man always aspire to, this is your question one time, aspire for happiness. So this way you have to make notes. So what was that question about? Anyone, can you guess and tell me? There was one question related to happiness one time. In your old question paper, in your ethics paper only. 2014. What was the question then? So what do you mean by what is happiness meant to you? What is happiness for you? And how will you achieve happiness or something? The question was like that. I forgot the question. Please look into that question. And so this is something which is related to hedonism principle. Hedonism is talking about happiness in life. Okay, so man aspires for happiness. He says that this happiness has to be achieved through higher refinements in life. This is ethics. Okay, this is ethical principles which he is talking. Higher refinements. What are those higher refinements? Not the low level. They should not stoop to the low level like drinking, having the habit of drinking or enjoying and all. That is totally different. That's something which has to be avoided, he says. So higher refinements like music, art, all these are higher refinements according to him, which brings in mental happiness. Okay. So that's the first concept, Epicurus. And his philosophy is called Gordon philosophy. Okay. So this is very important point related to Epicurus. And you need not study everything related to him. Then comes Aristotle. And if you want to talk about Aristotle, He is a person who has come up with eudaimonia and virtue ethics. Then second is virtue ethics. Okay, then you have to say, what is this concept of eudaimonia and virtue ethics? That means man seeks perfection. Okay, and through perfection, he expects happiness. Okay, he attains happiness. So how he will seek perfection? By following virtues. And what are virtues? Virtues is a middle path between two vices. Vices is something immoral behavior, we can say. The two vices. Okay, vices of minimal and vices of excess. Vices of excess, where we can say the foolhardiness. Like if I am saying courage, cowardice will be vices of minimal. Okay, so this is something which he talks about virtue. This is virtue, the mean path or middle path between two vices. Man should avoid two extremes. He should not act like a fool also. You know, somebody, you're walking in the road with 4 friends. A rickshawala has dashed you. Then you are jumping over the rickshawala. It's foolhardiness. And meantime, you just stop him and ask him, don't you know how to drive? Drive carefully. Now, if you are causing some accident mistakenly, now this is something which you are courageous enough to speak. You just ask for the mistake committed by the other person. That is courage. But instead, you become reddish, you get red cheeks, red eyes. Talk with your fist immediately. And then the friend will fly away in meantime. When you turn, there will be no one. You alone will be there and all rickshawalas will encircle you. So this type of concept, this Aristotle has said this. Virtue between two vices should be followed by men. And this is something which is talking about ethics. Okay. Same way, when you're talking about the next, if you are going for, let us take Thomas Hobbes. Other people's are not interesting enough. Okay, so we'll directly skip to Thomas Hobbes. Because there is another one person in between, Saint Aquinas. I hope you would have heard about this person. No. He always says that God is everything. God is supreme being. Okay, man always does because something based on his natural law, which comes from him, his own. It is subject to nature. Everybody has this law. And who is the owner of this? God. God is creating this thought in man, and man is behaving according to God. So he says, God is a supreme being. We are all following God. And whatever act is committed by us is directed by God only. This type of thought is given by Saint Thomas Aquinas. Then comes Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes is given something which is very important. Okay. See, by taking 3 philosophers only, you all have started to write philosophy on your own. So that's why I never deal with this topic in the classes, but you have to read. I'm making you understand that how you have to read the topic. Say Thomas Hobbes, what he has said. He has said that he has given 3 concepts. One, he said man is egoistic in nature. Okay, egoism. He gave the concept of individual egoism. He said man is egoistic in nature. Why? Because man wants everything for himself. Now, the moment man is like an animal, he is more or less like an animal. So what an animal will do? Animal will take everything for its. Nowadays, animals are better than us. They are sharing with everyone. So we don't want to compare them. They feel very embarrassed. So I say that man is also an animal where man wants everything for himself. And even if he wants more and more, greedy nature. So there comes a survival of fittest theory, which was given by, very good, Darwin. So this Darwin has said rightly that if we are allowed without any regulations, rules, then what happened? Like other organisms or plants, which is killing one another for food. Then we also do the same. The strong one will take everything from the others and the weaker one will not get anything. So that is called egoistic concept. Man's grow greedy day by day and he wants more and more for himself. And this leads to enlargement of his power. enlargement of his territory, expansion of his territory, and he covers everything which comes in his sight. And the one who is stronger will take everything from the weaker. So there will be no law and order, there will be chaos. So in order to stop this, and in order to bring social utilitarianism, that is another concept which was given by him, social utilitarianism. In order to establish social utilitarianism, man started establishing state. State appeared because of that only. The weakest are not getting anything. Stronger are getting more and more. They are growing day by day. So they said that let us establish a state. The state will now make laws and rules and regulation in order to govern the activities of individual human being, limit their power. Okay. At the same time, protect the interest of every individual also. So this is something which we are bringing in the name of social utility, social utilitarianism. Let everyone benefit from the resources which we have. So that concept evolved from Thomas Hobbes only. He said that here comes ethics. Even though that is also ethics. Ethics means man wants everything for himself. That is a natural law and natural right of human being. But at the same time, man has natural right, the ability within himself in the form of conscience, which we call now, that whatever he is trying to harm others or hurt others in order to satisfy his own interest, it is wrong. He knows that, but everyone will not follow that. And even though he is aware of that, everybody will not follow it. So if they are not following, there are some people who break this natural law or natural right. And because of that, there will be chaos in the society. And that is necessity that we have to move from the individual governing of their affairs to the state governing of affairs. And there came the state, establishment of state. And state will take care of the interest of every individual and protect the interest of the society also. There he gave the concept of social utilitarianism. Okay, this way you have to read. I already made notes. I'll be forwarding notes for this chapter. Done? Yes? So now the questions for the 7th unit, that only we'll see. We'll complete the ethics paper.
Ma'am, what's the third theory?
Third theory, I forget that. See, moral positivism. Moral positivism. Where he says that the law, although it is written by the government, written by the state, there is an unending law which is given by God. So he is also a follower of God. He says that there is a law which transcends everything, which is above all. That is the moral positivism, the law created by God. And that is followed by all human beings. It pervades to all universe. It pervades the universe and it is followed by every human being in the form of the natural law, which is written by God. That is called moral positivism. Okay. So if somebody is not trying to follow it, we try to regulate them with the help of rules and regulations in the form of state-made laws. Okay. Done? Right. So now, yes, I have forwarded the question to you. No, take the question. Already I have done it, I hope. No. No, I have done it. Take it. So do you have? Yeah. See here. In the 2022, there was a question. This was a current affairs related question. Whistleblower who reports corruption and illegal activity, okay, wrongdoing and misconduct to the concerned authority runs the risk of being exposed to grave danger, physical harm, victimization by the vested interest, accused person and his team, all things. What policy measures you would suggest to strengthen protection mechanism to safeguard the whistleblower? So already Whistleblower Protection Act is there. So when you are seeing the bodies related to corruption mechanisms, whistleblower will be there. But that is not sufficient enough. Do anyone have an idea now? So what you can give when you are writing this answer? This came in 2022. Very recently, they introduced a resolution. I took in class also. Do you remember that? What are the ways you can strengthen the whistleblower? You can also give this, bring in this resolution. What is the resolution name? PIDPI. Public Interest Disclosure and Protection of Informers resolution. One resolution, no, I discussed in class. Do you remember that? Probity, under probity in governance, I asked you to make a note of about that resolution also. See, this is one way you have improved. Same way, we have to safeguard the mechanisms for whistleblowers. There is no such mechanism. Only one act is there, Whistleblower Protection Act. That's it. But how and all you can safeguard the whistleblower. That is the main thing. No, in ethics, we are studying about blowing the whistle, either in the internal whistleblowing or external whistleblowing. Here, the people are identified by the gangs who commit the mistakes and then they are killed. They are facing a lot of problems from them. You know, so who reveals that thing? So how you will safeguard them? Again, same way, strengthening the law and regulations, update the law. Okay, then you also should have confidential way of revealing the information to the highest authorities. Say example, PIT resolution, where the faceless, the identity will not be revealed. The person's identity will not be revealed and the complaint will get registered in CVC. For now, we have brought this resolution. Same way, we have to improve in every angle. Like this, you have to bring up certain measures. Okay. The wisdom lies in knowing what to reckon with and what to overlook. An officer being engrossed with the periphery, ignoring the core issues before him, is no rare in the bureaucracy. Do you agree that such preoccupation of an administrator leads to travesty of justice to the cause of effective service delivery and good governance? Okay, so they are talking about effective service delivery and good governance. What question? What they are asking? So this is something which is talking about, an officer who simply blindly following the rules is not required in the service. One who has to know what to consider first, prioritize what to consider first and what not to consider first. So those types of officer will be very rare in the bureaucracy, but we only want that type of officer in order to bring effective services delivery and establish good governance. Why? Because you can give some examples. You can bring with some examples. You can write some example where, when that during COVID, these people, how they mistreated the civilians. That is a rule and regulation they're following. There are also officers who follow the same rules and regulations, but was able to gain the trust and confidence on people, and people also cooperated with them. On the other hand, people do not cooperate for some officers. Why? Because of their way of treating the people, simply sticking to the rules and trying to follow the rules blindly without even considering the empathetic concern, having empathetic concern over the people's needs. Okay, so this way you have to write. You have to give, you can give any example and then you can. So because it is critically, what it is, critically evaluate. So you have to bring up certain example and evaluate the statement and say, yes, an officer who is trying to overlook the rules only, only considering the rules and trying to overlook the people's needs and all has to be changed. The mentality has to be changed. Otherwise, we will not get efficient delivery of services because the target groups will not satisfied with the needs and aspirations they require. If they are not satisfied, then what happens? They will not support the government in function. That is no participation in governance. If there is no participation in governance, then there is zero good governance. We cannot establish good governance. Then 2019, there is a question. What do you understand by the term public servant? So what is public servant? A person who is serving the public. Simply, what is meant by public servant? Yes.
Excuse me. Ma'am, in the question, wisdom lies in the knowing. The question is asking about critically evaluate, and we are giving the points related to the negative aspect of this, and we have to give the positive.
Yeah, you have to give positive way.
Sticking rules and all.
You are just evaluating that statement. So you just take into consideration. See, sometimes we cannot overlook the rules. In this way, you have to give both the stand of the point, and then you have to come to conclusion. While you are giving the conclusion, you have to say that blindly sticking to rules will not do anything, because that is the need of the hour. Now we are just trying to override the rules, the old traditional way of simply sticking to the rules and simply sticking to the regulations, which is already followed by your successors. Okay, in this way, you have to conclude the question. That distinguish between code. No, we have left 2019 question. What is meant by public servant? Reflect on the expected role of public servant. So what you will write for this question? Very direct question. They're asking about the role of a public servant. Anna. So what you will write for this? Expected role of public servant. How a public servant has to behave. Today only we wrote. empathetic enough, compassionate enough. Today we wrote
Impartial.
Impartial. Third unit, combine the seventh unit. Positive mentality, positive attitude in approaching the problems. Good. And then now we are talking about the role-based civil servant than a rule-based civil servant. Okay, all this you have to bring here. Then effective utilization of fund is crucial to meet developmental goal. Critically examine the reason for underutilization and misutilization of fund and their implications. So direct question. So utilization of fund, they're asking why there is misutilization of fund, why there is underutilization of fund. You have to give the answer for that. The non-performance of duty of a public servant is a form of corruption. One time they gave a statement like this. Do you agree with this view? Justify. So what do you have to write? You have to write, yes, I agree with this view. And don't say, I do not agree with this view. Not performing the function is not equivalent to corruption and all. So it's a form of corruption only. That it's an act of omission. It's not you are committing something, but you are omitting your duty. So it's also a form of corruption. Then you can say that. And then you have to explain with the help of some examples you can bring here and say that some person, when in order to perform his duty, is not perform the duty in the right time, the right place. And because of this, this has happened. This has resulted. Okay, like this you can connect. Right. Then next, what is the question? Where I'm explain the basic principles of citizen charter movement and bring out its importance. Citizen charter, see what type of question they are asking. Anna, in ethics, they are asking citizen charter movement. Sometimes the question like this comes. Citizen charter movement, basic principles. Then already we have done why we brought citizen charter. So especially to be, I gave some points for you. In order to be fair, in order to be give choices to people, be competitive enough like this. There you have to say all these were lagging. All these were lagging, and because of this, they initiated a movement starting in UK in 1991, where John Major government introduced a form of citizen charter, where he introduced the citizen charter in order to. Then you put all those points, which we have already given. And same way in India also, we during that period only, around 1996, we introduced the citizen charter movement when the liberal LPG era was high enough that privatization was allowed inside. And when there was more regulation from the government side, and when there was choices started introducing inside, in order to support all those needs which are expected from the people's mentality, we also supported with the help of citizen charter, and you have to give those principles. Okay. Then what is that other one? There is a view that Official Secret Act is an obstacle to the implementation of RTA. Do you agree with this view? Already we have said, discussed this in the class. There is a view only. They do not say that Official Secret Act is an obstacle to RTA. They are saying there is a view that official OSA is an obstacle to RTA. Clearly, RTA is saying that there is no obstacle. If there is some conflict, then RTA will prevail. The provisions under RTA will prevail. And especially there were two things. One, everyone know that RTA, the provision of RTA will prevail over any act. But there was another provision also we have written along with that. What is that? In our class, we have written that. Public interest. Even under RTA, there was a section called section 8 of 1, under which there are something which are prohibited from seeking information from government. No, we put under 11 classes. We say under these conditions, you cannot seek information from the government. That also can be overridden when public interest is taken into consideration. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind. Now, next question. So you have to give your view. You have to say what is your view regarding the statement. Then you have to discuss. Now you have to give the points related to that. Why? What is your view? If you are saying yes, no, I do not agree with this view, then you have to give the view. Yes, see here, as per the section 22. This section 22 is saying this, that no act can override RTA. So how can OSA, which was created long back in 1889 and then updated in 1993, can override it? So there is no possibility like that. And what do you understand by probity in governance? Probity in governance, then already we have given definitions and all, take from that. Based on your understanding of the term, suggest measure for ensuring probity in governance. Government, how will you ensure probity in government? So you know what is probity? Sticking to, adhering to the ethical principles. Then how will you ensure probity? How will you ensure probity? Already we have written, no. Even in attitude, under attitude unit we have written. Here also we have written instrumental conditioning, and then this all those topics again. And enforcement of law,
proper strict implementation of law, changing the work culture, importing a different work culture. Like this, you have to bring in some answers. Okay, because they are asking how will you suggest measures for ensuring the probity only. So you have to bring in measures like giving in framework of very recently Mission Karma Yogi said about FRAC approach. That and all you can give. Okay, to improve the probity. Now, distinguish, and even also sticking to code of ethics and all like this, you can see the question paper. Anything you can take it from the question only, you can take that point and add inside your answers. Okay. Yes. Then 2018, distinguish between code of ethics and code of conduct with suitable examples. So code of ethics, what is meant by code of ethics and code of conduct? Code of conduct is already defined one and precise one, which is given there. You cannot violate it. But code of ethics is very vast. It doesn't have any boundary at all. It is something, an abstract concept where it cannot be brought into a code. You know, it's very hard to frame a code related to ethical principles. So that way you have to differentiate it. And then you have to give an example. For example, you take, you know, honesty, speaking truth. You know, it doesn't apply for every situations. You cannot simply speak truth at every situation. There are certain situations you have to avoid the truth in order to safeguard the people. And so that and all can be applied. Like that, you have to give some examples here. Then what is the next question? The Right to Information Act is not all about citizen empowerment alone. Okay. It essentially redefines the concept of accountability. So discuss that RTA is going to redefine accountability. How? With the information, the people will be empowered enough to be accountable in nature. That's a simple one-line answer I'm telling. You have to expand this. You cannot write in one line like this, no. With the information, people will become empowered, and through empowerment, they will be more accountable enough. You cannot say like that. So it is redefining the concept of accountability. How it is redefining the concept of accountability? Because accountability means both answerability and enforceability. So answerability, how people will be answerable to how the public officer will be answerable to the people only when the people is knowing what is happening. The right to know has to be implemented. That is right to information. They have to know what is happening inside the government, and through that they can question the public officers and make them answerable. And even the various bodies which are trying to enforce the duty of the administrators also should have the knowledge about the organization. For all these things, RTA is very important. Okay, so this is redefining the concept of accountability. Like this way, you have to end it. It's also discussion only. You have to give your points and discuss. Then corruption causes misuse of government treasury, administrative inefficiency, and obstruction in the path of national development. Discuss Kautilya's views. How will you start this? This is said by Kautilya only. Kautilya said this. Now you have to say how, then you connect with Kautilya. You say, yes, Kautilya has already said that corruption, if it is prevailing, then what happens? It is like, he has said something related to Haas. I forget the statement. You can also say that like a part of honey, which is in the hand of the people, we just try to put the finger and try to lick it, taste it. Same way, corruption cannot be escaped by any people if they are holding a public fund. If they hold a public fund in their hand, they will involve in corruption activities. So this is how he has started his way of defining corruption. And then you have to say what are those things which are going to, as he itself has given a clue. It is going to erode the government treasury. Okay. Again, it is going to bring in administrative inefficiency. Then you have to say how corruption is bringing administrative inefficiencies. Okay. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. What they are asking about you to discuss. So what this statement is saying. Can you predict? We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of dark. Children are usually afraid of dark. No, they don't go in the dark. But the real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of light. Why men are afraid of light? They're talking about the people who are doing fraudulent activities. Okay, it should not get exposed. That's the thing. That doesn't mean that when you are making a man stand in the light and he's afraid of light. It is not the meaning of that. They're talking about the torch bearers. And those who try to reveal it, whistleblowing. When they're trying to whistleblowing, they're afraid. It's mean a torch bearing. Whistleblowing is something called as torch bearing. That means it is made into a light. It is brought into the light. So those who are involving in fraudulent activities, corruption, favoritism, nepotism, all these things, these types of people will afraid of light. Okay, so that you have to connect with corruption and write your answers. Anna? So that's a tragedy, no? Tragedy, corruption is a tragedy. So you have to connect that, and then you have to say that's a misuse of power. A person related to power, position, status is misusing, and it's a tragedy, real tragedy. It ends up in bad governance. That's it. Okay. So like this, you can go through all the other questions. You got the idea. Now fine, we'll end ethics today. Ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Anna? So we always call this as ethics. So I hope you can continue writing your answers. And one more test is remaining for you. And that is your last test. I try to put case studies inside. Try to attend that also. Please write in the paper. Anna, the test paper you take from them. I think they are providing the papers for you, know. Please write in that. Then only they provide that. Otherwise, no papers for you. Only question.
No.
PDF, online PDF. Okay, fine. You take some papers, plain papers, right? Then give it to me in the hand. It is better, no, for correction. See, why I am saying that some people writing first, they are scanning and sending it to me. First question answer, they are writing first question, one writing answer. All answers look similar sometimes. And then comes the second question answer or third question answer, and the first question's next is last part of the first question goes after the second question answer. I say I'm playing hide and seek with that answers. Which answer is connected with this one? I have to connect it and then I have to correct. It's overburden for me. That's why I was not able to finish the correction yesterday. So please don't do that. Write in the paper, then give it to me. I'll correct it. Okay. So with related to ethics, all is in your hand now. I will forward the respected notes for you. Apart from that, you have the yellow book with you. Sorry, what is that book? Any name for that book? Okay. Notes. The academy has provided you some notes. You can also take the IGNO notes then and there. Not every topic with the IGNO is important, but the IGNO is very important. Questions are formed from IGNO only, IGNO notes. If you don't get IGNO notes or you don't have time to search for the notes, you just go and take lexicon book, which is there in the market, where they have printed the IGNO notes only. Okay, that is a basic understanding. That much is enough. And for case studies also, you can refer some books or you can refer some site. I forget the site name and all. I'll refer and I'll tell you if I come to know about that. You can just refer the case studies for that site. But it will be very hectic to see that. It's a question and all will be in for 1.5 pages they will give. That type of site it is. So better you take some book from the market, case study book. Nowadays they are releasing case studies books. You can take that, take the question, and you compare it with the UPSC paper, UPSC pattern, whether the questions are in the same pattern. Then you just try to work on those questions. Okay, this way you can work on the ethics questions and practice more questions, not from any random papers in the market. Don't do that. Practice your old question first. Then you have a good idea about how to write answers for ethics. After that, you come to the test series. When you are giving an exam, I don't know when you are going to give your exam. Maybe not this year. I can see many serious, non-serious candidates here in this classes only. Now, I'm not talking about you people. Actually, at least till the end, you are here. And some people are on the online. Around 10, 12 students or 13 students are there in the online. Around 30 students are, they are committed to study the subject. Any subject, it is just commit for 1 year. That's very important related to UPSC. UPSC is not just like a cakewalk. Please don't think like that. But you have to do as it is a cakewalk. It's not a catwalk. Don't consider like that. It's like a cakewalk. You have to walk in the cake. How will you walk in the cake? Without any techniques and technologies, so you cannot walk in the cake without destroying it. It's like that. UPSC is like that. Okay, so if you know the smart way to crack it, since it's not a prelims exam, I'm not giving some techniques for you. But next comes the environment. Environment, you have to listen, I will talk. You have to listen, I will talk, because mains, you are taking some notes. Except some very important notes which I will ask you to write. Others will be there in the PPT. And I will forward, each and every student have to keep in touch with me. I will forward to you personally, not in group. I want you to come here because you are spending your time and then you're coming and sitting. You just cannot spread these notes as such. And apart from that, after studying in the classes, You can take the book which will be there in the market by February. I think this month only they will release it. January it is going to get released. Then you can take that book also for the reference, which will be there in the market. So with this, it is more than enough to crack 22 to 25 questions which come in your prelims. Environment plus agriculture. Geography, I don't know whether your geography teacher will do agriculture, but the agriculture from the environmental view, you have to do. That geographical view of agriculture, your geography teacher will do. But environmental view or environmental perspective of agriculture will be done by environment teacher. That is none but me only. I'll do here. Okay. So this is how we will connect for next 45 hours after this. From tomorrow, I think. I thought I'll leave some holiday in between. After doing Pongal, not now, no. Then the management will give Pongal for you. Sunday, every festival this year is coming on Sunday. Very sad. So I don't know. And either 3 days leave or only 1 day. Only 1 day. Maya Shankranti or something they call that. Only for that. That is on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday. Okay, very good. So I thought after completing this, I thought of doing it on Thursday. I thought I'll complete the ethics on Thursday. Then 1 day I'll leave a break. Then I'll start from Monday. But already now ethics is very dragging and it's very boring. So I thought I'll forward us notes and I'll complete by today. So tomorrow we'll meet for environment and then we'll complete by 45 hours. Yes. Okay. Take care. Thank you all.